Hey everybody, Jennifer here. Welcome back to A Close Heart Experience. I hope everybody is doing well. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're old to the channel, thank you. I appreciate you greatly. Everybody here does. Please ignore the huge zit on the face or the 5 zits. We could almost do the Big Dipper here. This is real life, people. When stress happens, zits happen. Yep. Pushing 50 and I still break out like a teenager. What do you do? I don't know. It is what it is. It has been a long couple of weeks. I really wish I could fill you in on it. But it feels like it's been a long couple of weeks for several people. Talking to a coworker today, and they had a family member in a car accident, and talking to John's nurse this morning. And her family was just having issues, but it made me think about the video for today. I kind of want to piggyback off of Jessica's video. Please and thank you. Sorry. You know, sometimes when you're dealing with stuff, it's almost like you're hyper-focused on that situation. Maybe that's what I should talk about. I have done nothing but tax returns and been on the phone since the 6th of February. So it has been, we're going on to almost 2 weeks. We're headed to 2 weeks. And even not being there, I said this in a different video, the last one I did, I think. It's still really difficult. Like right now, my father just out of the blue started shivering and shaking. And nothing I can do about it. Sounds like an infection. But it's really hard sitting on the other end of this phone waiting for somebody to tell me what's going on, you know? It would be much easier if I was there helping, is kind of how I look at it. Watching people go through things is not easy, and a lot of people don't see the caretaker side of it. They look at the person who is sick, which, please, by all means, they need all the support and love that we can give them. But very seldom, and it does kind of tie in with Jesse's video, please and thank you. Jessica, I'm sorry. There is a lack of community. And when the responsibility rests on a couple of people's shoulders to, or even one person's shoulder to help those that are ill, it takes a huge toll on your soul. I was just having a conversation with my dad before he started shivering about how hard it is to walk in and find your husband on the floor. I've done that 3 times. It's no bueno. And it puts a little bit of fear of God into you. And I know I've said this, but it bears repeating. There are nights I don't sleep through the night, especially if John's a little off, if he's acting a little wonky. You become hyper-focused. For the last 2 weeks, I wait for that phone to ring. I wait for the phone to buzz so I can get an update. What's happening today? What's going on today? Or how can I help? What information can I provide? You know, that kind of stuff. And I've been doing tax returns and listening to healthcare. It's really hard to venture out. And John's nurse this morning was telling me that a lady had dementia and she went overseas. And I'm not sure which country it was. I'm sorry. I think it was in Africa, but don't quote me on that. And the whole village rallied around her. They took turns taking care of her and helping her. And we used to do that here in America. In fact, I was raised that way. And I think the please and thank you goes a little bit further. It's not, we have lost a sense of community. We have lost a sense of respect for our elders. We have lost just general respect for a human being. It doesn't matter. I wish there was an easy way to fix this, but the only way to fix this is to teach the younger generations. And I have a problem that if I hand something to a kid or something, what do you say? That was ingrained in me for how many years? But not having respect for those who have bought you things, for those who are in your life, and just saying thank you, it goes a long ways. Before I needed help, John and I helped a lot of people. We had drug addicts live with us and their children. I took care of a lady's two children, and she was a drug addict. And there were other kids too. I just have to be a little careful about what I talk about. But we have bent over backwards. And one time a friend of mine posted on Facebook that we would be willing, John and I, to give the shirt off our backs to just about anybody that walked by. And the truth of that is, yes, I would have. But it was the first time somebody had really said thank you. Yeah, floodgates opened on that one. She went on to say how much we had helped them over the years, and I called my mom and I said, you know what, it's just nice to be appreciated for once. That's not the reason why I was doing it. That's not the reason why I was helping these people, but you continue to help, you continue to do the things, making people comfortable. And the littlest things, like sending somebody something and 6 months later they come off and say, oh yeah, I bought that for them, when you know damn good and well you bought it for them. There's a special kind of sword to the heart. But they forget. And maybe that's because they didn't say the please and thank you. They didn't write the thank you card. There is no sense of community, but people don't realize that those little things mean a hell of a lot when something big happens. Because when something big happens, those people that cared about you enough to buy you that Christmas gift, that they will show up. But maybe they're not so quick to show up if you're so greedy and selfish and don't really give two cares if you appreciate that person or not. I don't know the answer to that. I do know that I have still showed up. As I've stated in other videos, that has kind of been backing off a little bit to some of those ungrateful ones. But I am also learning that I'm an overgiver. And it's not that I want the pat on the back. It's that I want everybody comfortable. I want everybody happy. And I hate to see people struggling. It's one of my huge pet peeves, and it goes with the hunger thing. There is no reason on God's green earth why people should be going hungry. With the amount of food we throw away in the United States, it's just, yeah, it's insane to me. But yet we barely give our elderly enough to pay the mortgage or rent or utilities. So they're forced to eat cat food. And I thought that was like an urban legend for a while, but it's not. It's not. And think about it in today's day and age with inflation. How can these people afford to eat? How many meals are they skipping? It's okay to have a community. It's okay to have people you care about. But I think that these phones have made it a hell of a lot easier for people to not have conversations. I think that is the reason in the uptick for psychiatric care. I think COVID had a little bit to do with that. But we can't have decent conversations. We can't sit, we can't talk. But that village in Africa rallied around this lady, took care of her, gave her money, made sure that she was well taken care of. The lady got a little selfish and decided she was going to run the joint and wanted people to fund that, which I thought was kind of funny, but it's not, because that is when people take you for granted. Being taken for granted hurts. It hurts something fierce. When you think somebody cares about you and you're there to help them, and they continually have their hand out, or they think they can outsmart you. I don't necessarily think everybody's out to be manipulative unless there is an agenda. I don't think they want to be manipulative, but when dire straits are happening, that's how it comes across. I have quit helping. I have a problem with honesty. So if you're just straight up with me and say, hey, I don't have groceries, you know what the first thing I'm going to do is? I'm going to say, what do you eat? Let's go buy you some groceries. But if you give me some song and dance and some unbelievable story about why you don't have groceries and how you're going to set up a GoFundMe, I'm going to say, not my rodeo. I've learned my lesson the hard way on this. And you would not believe some of the stories that have been told to me. Yeah. I don't fault people for it. I have been there where I've had to live off my pantry, and the only thing that saved me was my uncle. I would have had no lights, no heat, not much of anything if it weren't for him. Did I ask for help? No. And it wasn't necessarily pride. It was probably fear, because I didn't know what to do. My husband and I, for the longest time, lived paycheck to paycheck. We had freaking milk crates, and the federal building was, when he worked there, was replacing all their furniture. Guess what our furniture was? It was federal building furniture. I have no sense of pride. I don't care if I had to put my TV up on a milk crate. I am okay with that. Have we surpassed that? Yeah, we're no longer there. But being a 2-income family and then all of a sudden being a 1, not even a 1 because I had just opened my business, I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I was in the hospital. How am I going to get a job? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? But the nice thing is I didn't have to ask. And I think that's kind of what Jessica is alluding to. That when you have a community, you have a family around you that loves you. And I know that's not possible for everybody. My husband's family was one of those. They fought. His mom and him fought like cats and dogs. But, yeah, I keep trying to hide my volcano over here. I'm sorry. I know, but I think you get what you give, too. If you're always the taker, there's not going to be too many that want to give to you after a while. And if you're a taker without a thank you, without a general respect for that person, again, they're probably not going to show up to help again. It sure would be nice if we could get back to a sense of community in the United States. I know that I feel like we're all divided. We all have to pick which team we're on. You know, if you're patriotic, you cannot have LGBTQ friends. If you're LGBTQ, you can't have patriotic friends. I hate to break it to you, but you can. You can. Sometimes I think it's political to keep us divided. They don't want us all getting along and having Betty Sue check on Grandma across the hall. I don't think that's what they want. They want all of us fighting against each other. I'm sorry. That's not me. I have friends of all different nationalities. I have family of all different nationalities. It's okay. I love each of them the exact same. And most I wouldn't trade for the world. I don't care if you're from Africa or Norway. I don't care if you're from England or China. Did you know people in China can be assholes just like people in the United States can be assholes? Yeah. That's what makes us human. We're all assholes. I don't think I'm going to post this video. I don't know. There is a saying that the lone wolf always dies. Do we really want to be 90 years old with nobody to care about us? Just tucked in a closet in an old folks home somewhere? Where the only people we see are nurses and doctors periodically? I, for one, don't want that. And I don't want that for my parents. I don't want that for anybody. Hang on, I'm getting a call. Sorry, some things just kind of happen around here now. But why can't we take care of ours? Why can't we take care of those we love? That seems more respectful. Seems more caring, more loving, more compassionate than paying somebody else to do it. And I know that not everybody has that availability. Some of us have to work to keep paying the bills. But maybe if we weren't trying to beat the Joneses, we wouldn't need that 2-income family. We wouldn't need that $1 million house. We wouldn't have to make those huge payments. I don't have $1 million house. I don't know, guys. But I do think it's more than just please and thank you. It's respect. And I think if we got back to teaching our kids and even those around us to care about other people and to care about hurting other people. We might just make a world of difference. Okay, I'm getting another call. I love y'all. I don't know when I'll see you again. It really depends on how things go this week. God bless you, each and every one. Thank you for checking on me, all the well wishes and everything. And I'll see you when I see you. Bye.